Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Brock, and today we're finishing up Sudden Death 2095 with Raven and Vigilante, the former Galactic Punisher.
I think these are the two big guys from the set.
The headliners.
Yeah.
One more of a tag guy, one a breakout single star.
Yeah. Who would you like to start off with? Both, because it doesn't matter who you start off with. Both these guys are phenomenal.
Let's go with Vigilante since he's the upgraded character here. Vigilante.
Now, for me, he did quite well.
He's got a really solid offense. And let's just first say 100 times cooler than Galactic Punisher, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe 1,000 times cooler.
Yeah, Snelly knocked it out of the park. Out of I think this set, that's easily my favorite drawing.
It's a good one. It's very good. It's very 90s.
Oh yeah.
Pockets and belts and buckles and things. But
yeah, he went to the Rob Liefeld School of Design.
91 though, that might be a little bit ahead of Mr. Deadpool. But yeah, definitely cool. I like him. I like War is just a tough group.
Yeah.
Just these two characters alone, and everybody else that is part of that team is pretty darn tough. Even their manager.
Yeah. Manager's the toughest guy in the game.
Right? It's funny. Yeah, I got the wiki up here. He's listed at I don't think they update the heights and weights on the updated cards, but he's 6'2.5", 266 pounds.
Yeah, I had him at 6'4", 267.
Pretty darn close.
Yep. For me, the Vigilante, like he's still wrestling in 2105 for me.
Okay.
He's a 9-time GWF Tag Team Champion.
Okay.
So that's 8 times as a Vigilante.
Nice.
And he's a 1-time SWA Tag Champ. So for me, I had a tag title and a singles title, where they traveled from Fed to Fed.
Okay.
So they defended against, and it didn't last long. It lasted 1 year. I just wanted to test it.
Yeah, something different.
And then on a fluke match, he won the Intergalaxian Championship not too long ago.
Nice.
And held on to it for a little bit. But
how do you handle a tag finisher?
In a singles match, I roll it.
Okay. On the same level?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I do as well.
And so him and Soldier of Fortune were just an unstoppable tag team. They were so great, and they still are.
Mm-hmm.
And the storyline that I've worked out with them is because Soldier of Fortune gets reduced. You know, he takes a downgrade in 2105.
Okay.
So I had him get just, you know, the wear and tear. So he was slowly becoming worse.
Yeah.
And so they took the downgrade automatic to the NGA instead of, you know, because they had enough points to keep him up. But, you know, they knew, they could see in the ring his work, you know, wasn't up to par, and they'd probably never hold the GWF tag title again.
Uh-huh.
But they might be able to capture the NGA tag titles.
Okay.
So they voluntarily dropped down, and in doing so, Vigilante showed, you know, his friendship is worth more than than the big gold. And so it kind of made them fan favorites, so they turned face.
Okay. Yeah, they teamed together for a long time.
Yeah.
Vigilante's set for a downgrade for you soon. He gets a downgrade in 2106.
And then I'll drop him down to the CPC, the UWA Colby's promotion.
I know Jeff likes to bring up the raw ratings all the time. So he goes from a 3450 to an 1126.
Yeah. Oh, it's a massive draw.
Yeah, for sure. But this card and Soldier Fortune's current card definitely, I mean, as far as tag teams go, I mean, they're right up there with the best of the best.
Yeah.
Because there's no weak link.
No, like now to make the team better, if it would have been like Soldier of Fortune starts off on one, has a good level one, because that's how most teams work. So one guy will be good, and then but Vigilante's good on the 2 and 3.
Yes. So you just have to hurt somebody, and then it's Vigilante time.
Yeah, and Vigilante just stays in. But if he does get taken down a notch, Soldier of Fortune's tough enough just to hang in there and take matters into his own hands.
Right.
So, showing it.
Vigilante.
That's why they're 9-time tag team champions.
Right. I mean, his level 3 defense, he has 3 downs.
Yeah.
But 2 of them have a tag and 1 has a leave.
Yeah.
So that's significant.
And
it's basically have a 50-50 shot of taking over on offense.
Yeah. And he's a 2-pin.
Well, a 1.
Oh, 1-pin.
Yeah. 4-1. -1 on power and agility. So he's above average on both. Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Double finishers. The tag finisher is a +3. Operation Ambush. His charts are A's, all except for Death Jump is a C.
Yeah.
That's probably just to balance him somehow a little bit.
Oh, because before his ring was the C.
Yeah, right. He got better at that. Yeah, I never really got behind Galactic Punisher, but Vigilante, just the look of him, I was excited for.
Yeah.
I never tagged him with Galactic Punisher.
Well, that's good.
I was smartened up by then.
These guys would make a cool looking tag team.
Yeah, they both have this metal head. I like even I know we don't like to skip ahead, but I have all 3 drawings here on my screen, and even the Bendis drawing is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a close up of his head.
Yeah, I like it.
Like I think they'll end up with the most victories ever by a tag team.
Okay.
Because they've been a team for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in the official storyline, they're a tag team from let me see here. I just had it up. 2095 to 2107.
Yeah, so 12 years.
Yeah. That's pretty long by GWF standards.
Yep.
He only tagged with Justice for 3 years. As Galactic Punisher.
Yeah, he's easily one of the coolest looking characters, but Vigilante, Soldier of Fortune will be on my Mount Rushmore of tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
With the Gladiators, Titan Power, and probably the Ultimate Gladiators, but probably Gladiator Vanguard.
Okay.
Currently, those are my top 4 teams ever.
Mm-hmm. They're a lot of people's top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Back then, especially like the tag division, there was you were there, you were a top tier guy, top tier team, and then there's just like everybody in the middle, and then there's like a handful of lower tier teams. But that top accolade definitely I think it was almost kind of protected, which is cool.
Yeah. What would you do to upgrade the Vigilante?
Um, I would make the Operation Ambush tag +3 finisher. I'd make that a +1 singles option.
Ah, I'd make the tag finisher a +4.
Okay.
Put him up into the Ultimate Gladiators realm.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much you could do to the. I wouldn't mess around with his defense much
No.
because it's balanced. He has the 3 downs, but there's tags attached to him. So that's actually tougher, I think, than 2 downs with 1 tag.
Yeah.
Because you always have a shot at turning the tables.
And when you leave with an A ring, you got a 50-50
Right.
chance of taking over.
Even better than 50 the new charts.
Yeah.
The only thing is that death jump, but yeah, I wouldn't even mess with that. C's fine as often as death jump happens.
Yeah, and I haven't written down on, if how many rookies of the year, like tag team of the year and stuff like that, because his career's not over. So I
Yeah.
add that stuff in at the end.
Okay.
So as we're moving along, the little blue cards aren't as filled out as they once were.
That's how it goes.
The next we can move on to the de facto leader, I think, of the war.
Go. Raven.
Raven.
Is that a Raven sound effect? I don't think so. It's more of a crow.
Yeah. I had him coming in at 6'5", 265 pounds.
All right. His official listing is 6'1", 256 pounds.
His first title he ever captured for me, the heavy metal title,
Okay.
which is long gone. He's a 2-time GWF heavyweight champion and a 1-time Intergalactic singles champion.
Cool.
And he's had some serious feuds with people. Like the Gladiators, like he drew against Spike, drew against Vengeance, beat Vengeance, and then I had a 3-way between Spike, Splatter, and Raven. He lost to
Wow.
Spike, beat Splatter, then he lost the next year to Splatter, beat Incubus from the NGO,
Hmm.
then lost against, and then beat Splatter, and then drew against Vigilante. So
Wow.
he was teaming up with Holocaust.
Okay.
So it was Holocaust and Raven versus what are they called? The Mercenaries.
Hmm.
I had called them Body Count. I just like that name better.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Black Lash, but beat him in the tag. So he and then he just beat Vengeance in singles again. So his feuds are all, he's not taking on any slouches. Like his easiest feud was probably Incubus.
Yeah. I'm looking at his wiki page. It's broken, but it's readable. Trying to at least. So oversees that, you need to take a look at it.
No one oversees it.
Oh, okay. Maybe why it's broken. This is the first one I've run into though.
Oh, and he's with me currently right now. He's teaming up with Dregs
Okay.
because Mace got sent down.
Hmm.
Because I use the whole point system, so guys move up and down.
Yeah.
And then when Mace came back, he was teaming up with Jack of Diamonds, and so it's uh, Raven and Dregs are a tag team, and they're doing okay. Like both are solid,
Hmm.
but they're both trying to run it singles too, so they're really not getting anywhere in in any one category.
Right. Should put all the bird themed characters together.
Now, in the game, he does team up with his cousin, the eagle,
Right.
as birds of prey.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a tag team where it's just Raven.
Yeah, right. Well, then Eagle becomes Talon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Raven was always the toughest of those guys by a long shot.
Yeah.
Because he even gets upgraded.
But I was wondering if he gets upgraded or not.
Yeah, in 2112, he gets an upgrade.
That's quite a long time for an upgrade.
Mm-hmm. And he gets better. According to his raw rating. We need
What
to
is he
get you.
now?
Okay, this card is a 4649. The 2112 card is a 4952.
Oh, so it's not much. It's a slight.
No, just a slight upgrade.
Oh, okay. Any big things for you that you remember of Raven?
Not really. I just remember liking the look of him. I thought he was cool. And of course the dark times as we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
The
definitely a
whole
character I'd like to revisit if I were to reboot. He's somebody I think needs more time.
the whole war team is like Mad Max meets Rufio.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I never gave war much thought until we started like doing the show, and I'm looking like at their bios and stuff like that, just as we, get ready to record. I'm like, these guys were a lot cooler than I ever really played them out in my Fed.
I liked him from the start.
Uh
They were the guys that made me stop, because I had that Anyman versus Gladiator feud, and I'm like, this is never going to end because they had such great matches, great chemistry, and then
yeah,
War came along. I'm like, see you, Anyman.
yeah, right. It makes sense because they're more evenly matched,
Yep.
which makes a difference.
And Raven still, ranked for the heavyweight title,
Hmm.
so he'll probably get a couple more shots at that, and if he wins it, that's good on him.
So just to look over his card here, some stats. He has a -3 agility and a -1 power, a 4-1 pin, a +1 finisher, and a +2 finisher.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that had that at this point in time.
I
A
believe
double
so.
finisher in
Both
both.
singles.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that was what made him most unique at the like as a toughness factor.
there was Alpha Force with the double +5 finisher, but he had a gimmick. Like it did not.
Right. It wasn't all. Yeah, it wasn't automatic.
This one was automatic.
Hmm. I don't remember ever hitting the. I didn't really use the Alpha Force much though. I always thought it was kind of lame. But he's another one who got cooler with the Snelly art, I think. Alpha Force.
I'm just trying to think on how I would power creep the Raven.
Yeah, I was looking at it. There's not much you could do. The only thing that I was thinking is give him a third straight through level 3 move on level 2 offense.
Yeah.
Because he's got 2 with a choice E. So pretty good shot at getting another level 3 out of that. But
He's got his I'm trying to remember he's a
BB.
something like that.
AABB.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, B ring.
Mm-hmm.
Might bump him up to an A ring just because of who he fights.
Yeah, it makes sense. I feel like all of war should be good brawlers.
Yeah. I'm not worried about their death jump, but they all got to be, if you're fighting the gladiators, you got to bring it.
Yeah.
You just can't be like,
I'll try my best. And Vigilante, being a former cop, should have always had an A rating.
Yeah.
For out of the ring. Even back when he was Galactic Punisher. Because it just makes sense.
Yeah. So we talked about our most memorable matches we've had in our feds.
Mm-hmm.
I put this out there to you.
Yeah.
Do you remember your most memorable matches? Any that stick out for you?
My first ever match, I remember what it was. It was Lord Nexus versus Pit Viper. And it was part of the Fed because my dad had said, he had the cards. He's like, here, and I'm looking through and I'm like, these guys are lame. So I picked the two most like normal looking guys in my mind. Like, it was Pit Viper and Lord Nexus, and I know they're buddies, so it made no sense for them to fight. But that's the match that hooked me. Took one match, rolled it up, and I was hooked for life after that. So I remember that Lord Nexus won. Um, First match I ever played, and I remember it. I rolled Pit Viper. My dad rolled Lord Nexus. Lord Nexus won, and I was just hooked from that moment on. So I remember that one sticks out, and I've mentioned this one a couple times on here. I was trying to get my gaming group into the game, so I set up a match between Plethador and Chaos Supreme, and with the idea that Chaos Supreme is just going to murder Plethador, and it backfired.
The guy got
Chaos Supreme lost in two moves, and they got all mad. You set us up. You knew he was going to lose. I'm like, no, it's the exact opposite of that. But that one really sticks out as memorable because it was just so funny. Because my buddies were mad. They thought I set them up with a lame character. Here, it's one of the 5 or 6 toughest cards ever made. It just the dice. It's all shoot, bro.
No, I have a couple that stick out. So, when I started, I shared a Fed with my buddy Rob.
Mm-hmm.
We'd roll up the cards and we'd wrestle probably a card a day between us.
Mm-hmm.
And so for him, and you're wrestling someone else, it no, nothing really sticks out in my head. Probably our favorite feud. He teamed up Kraken and Bishop Hell,
Okay.
called them the Powers of Pain.
Nice.
And this is back before when the choices of CH, not everybody used them. So Kraken had 3 downs on level 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a monster.
Yeah, we played that way too until Galacticon.
And then you team him up with Bishop Hell, who's got a double finisher, 0+4 finish.
Yeah.
And so they were multiple time tag team champions with him. And so they were always feuding against Animal Pack or Battering Ram or the Anti-Man of Andromeda.
Yeah, yeah.
Battering Ram, Incredible Badger. So we had a few good with him. But when I started wrestling on my own, I went to one of the Galacticons, and I bought. Tom gave me the Galacticon deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 5 or 6 sets. I got all the sets right up until they were out. So that's one with Bounty Hunter
Okay.
and Count Necros and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I took him home and I rolled up my first Fed. And in the heavyweight title match, Renner Beguile hops on the ring apron because Star Wars is fighting him, and distracts him, and then Bounty Hunter just rolls him up for the pin.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then I'm in my TV title match, and it's Wolf versus Count Necros for the TV title.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. Royal Overlord hops on the ring apron. So the two matches happen like that, where they roll up and I roll like a 2 or a 3, and what are the odds? And I just remember them stick out in my head. And then I set up the next card, and I'm like, so I'm 4 or 5 sets into it. I'm like, Thantos has never held any title. The Gladiators, because they did win my tag tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Anti-Man of Andromeda had won it. none of the original 24s were even ranked for anything. And I'm like, I'm throwing out all these results and I'm going to start over. So that was the
Yeah.
third time I started my Fed because I wanted it. I wanted
Hmm.
those matches.
Right.
But those first two in that weird tournament, in the tournaments where I was just setting up my Fed, stick out because what are the odds you have the same finish in two title matches?
Uh-huh.
It was a cool finish when it happened, especially for a title.
Right, right.
But easily one of my most memorable matches is when I had, and I don't have it often. It's a title versus title, and it was Titan Power versus the Gladiators, and both tag titles. Both people held their tag titles for almost 2 years each,
Oh, wow.
and they went at it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have it, title versus title, and the Gladiators won it.
Hmm.
So they held, both titles, and I still remember that match. I was living in St. Catharines. I still remember, having the match at the desk.
Yeah.
This is awesome. And my most recent one, I don't have very many 5-star matches that will, I'm really tough on my
Yeah.
stars I give out.
Right.
But I had my first ever match where both wrestlers reach a 12 in pin
Nice.
because everybody's kicking out. You need 9, you get 10, you need 10, you roll 11.
Hmm.
And it was a singles match. So the NGO wrestler, the British Bomber, was fighting Wolf for the TV title.
Okay.
The British Bomber's the TV champion, so he's got a manager. Uh, he's got, I think he had Renner Beguile at the time, and Wolf's got Amazonia. And, you know, I was hitting the distractors. I was hitting, outside interferences. So
Yeah.
both wrestlers, all their interferences are used up, but they're at a 12 each.
Hmm.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah.
And it was first pinfall wins.
Right.
Unless you roll a 12. 12s are automatically kickouts.
Yeah. I've instituted that house rule recently too, where just you got to give them a chance. Why
Yeah.
why not roll? Like the odds of rolling a 12, pretty low.
Oh,
So.
it's happened. I've had guys reach 12
Me
before,
too.
and I've had guys kick out, and I'm like,
You got to keep it going.
but for both wrestlers to reach a 12,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
and Wolf got the pin. He got the Savage Face Claw on. I was like, this is
It's mathematically impossible, but yeah, I always give the chance on a 12. I actually had it happen on stream recently when everyone in the chat's like, "Yeah, let him kick out on a 12." So it was fun.
but just and that was it was funny because on that card I had I think in total, for wrestling, I may give out one 5-star match a year.
Hmm.
On that card, I had 3.
Nice.
Every match was just it was a feud match between Janice and Hercules,
Hmm.
and it was right up there. And I can't remember the other one, but I remember there was 3 5-star matches on the card, and I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
And it's just
Can't
the
we
opening card of the year.
can we spread this out a little bit?
Yeah, first card of the year. I got 3 5-star matches.
Yeah, I very rarely have that happen. I usually have a bunch of stinkers in one in one card. Like,
Oh yeah, I'll have a bunch of 2 and 3. Maybe because especially for my GWF Fed, so you know there's no dud wrestlers. They're all top notch guys.
Hmm.
So usually the matches are 2 3 stars. I get the
Right.
odd 4 1 and a really rare 5-1. 3 5-star matches in one card,
Hmm.
especially when I only give out maybe 2 a year. Suddenly I got 3 of them on one card, and the first freaking card of the year.
Well, yeah, 5-star matches are hard to come by. There's only been one in the history, the 2.5 years of my stream, where it was voted by people a 5-star match. You wouldn't have voted it a 5-star. You weren't there. It was an intergender match.
Oh yeah, yeah. Probably wouldn't have.
Lambert. It was Lambert versus Social Butterfly. Two
Oh, even
bootlegs.
Lambert. No.
Oh, yeah, you're your favorite. Yeah, they were. I think they're one pin was at 10, one was at 12 by the time it ended. And
Nice.
Lambert ended up winning, but
Yeah, see, when I do intergender matches, I use the chart where, the women's agility and power and everything are reduced.
Yeah.
So it just gets squashed. So I've had it happen, but it's rare.
Yeah, I try not to do it as much. Sometimes I have to just by lack of characters that are available and stuff.
Because everybody keeps getting injured.
The feud table is very prominent. There's something after every match.
Oh yeah, and I'm not wearing a MAGA hat or anything. I'm wearing a Ryu. I went to Jamaica and I won this hat. I went to Jamaica like 5 years ago. But
my wife just came back from Denver and she got me this old school Colorado Avalanche shirt.
Is that a Colorado Avalanche?
Mm-hmm.
Just looks like Colorado.
Yeah.
More Rockies. The Colorado Rockies hockey team.
Yeah, maybe. Not the baseball team. They weren't around then.
Yeah, there used to be a hockey team called the Colorado Rockies.
Maybe that's what it is. I think it had an Avalanche tag on it, though. I'll have to look.
But I won this because I won a music trivia contest.
Nice.
So I wear it every so often. People are like, a red hat.
It's okay, people. There's other red hats.
Yep.
Relax. Good times.
I wear it. So that's that puts a bookend on 2095.
Mm-hmm. So 2096 next time. There'll probably be a legend or two in there, but yeah. A very solid set. I enjoy this set.
Yeah, so I think with this set you had, it kind of varied, but you had a solid tag team in the Demons of Hydra, a good mid card team. Jack of Diamonds. You had Pegasus, who he's just entering.
Yep, future big deal.
Yep. Cassandra and Thunder. You had some some managers happening. So all in all, it was a good set, and to finish it off with Raven Vigilante.
It made War like a threat as a team, like a legitimate top team.
Yep. And then, with Vigilante Soldier of Fortune combination, it's just one of the greatest tag teams just happened there.
Yeah. One of the better sets, I think.
Yep.
For variety, like impactful characters.
Yeah, like you have sets where you're like, eh.
Yeah, we've gone through a couple of them,
Yeah.
but this one's just like, I don't want to say game breaking, but kind of is.
And and to top it off, the artwork is is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether it's good because it's a completely different style from Chuck, but also Chuck at the end of his run was just kind of seemed to be phoning some of those. And then Larry comes along and he's just hungry.
Yeah.
Wants to prove.
Yeah. Only a couple sets left until the Gustovich era.
Which is one set.
It feels like an era, though.
Yep.
But hey, Palladium Books to this day is still reprinting Mike Gustovich artwork from 30 or 40 years ago in their current publications. Because if anything's ever been in a Palladium book, it will be in the next edition of that Palladium book, and the next edition, and the next edition, and the next edition. Because that's how Palladium does things. Some of it's literally copied and pasted. And on that note, thanks for listening and watching, everybody. If you have not yet, please click that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And while you're here, check out the description below. We have some of our friends who make some Filsinger Games related content. We have the official Filsinger Games podcast roll up, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, Dizzy Dice from Lee Longpre, the Filsinger Games Fancast from Grant. We have here on YouTube, we have After Further Review. We have Solo Promoter from Grant. And we have Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling, which he streams live on Saturday nights. And yeah, if you have any stuff that you'd like us to add to our description, we'd be happy to do that. Just drop us a line and we'll add it below. Get the word out for your content as well. You'll see all my social media stuff for Twitch and all that. If you want to check that out, I stream a bootleg fed live every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's there. And yeah, we'd like to share your content. If you'd like us to include it, just let us know. Happy to do that. So yeah, next we'll be getting into 2096 next. We're moving right along.
Yes, and next we'll have a special guest. Don't want to give too much away.
Don't want to give too much away. Spoiler free.
Yep.
This is it.
It'll be a big name guest.
It might even be Sam Luptak. No, he's too big of a deal for us. But yeah, tune in for that, everybody. It's going to be a good one.
Okay.
We'll see you then. Have a good one, everybody. Later.